Good morning, folks. Mark Wilson here at the Fan Cave. It's 4:15 in the morning, August 16th, 2016, and what I have today is a kind of a rare bird. This is a Casablanca Cascade, and I've never seen these blades before. That these upward curving tips. The only ones I've ever seen before were actually on that. Was it a golden fan or something like that in the Fanimation Museum? And I believe it was actually the whole tip that curved forward, not just this little triangular piece. But anyway, I picked up two of these. So now I do have a confession to make. This is not the original hang true canopy. It didn't come, neither of them came with their original canopies, nor did it come with their original, the ball that holds it. Now, I initially connected it to another white hang true canopy, but it was off of an old Zephyr, and I wasn't sure if it had been if it was one of the ones that needed a recall or not. So I wasn't about to put it, especially on high, when it, on high you'll see it bobs back and forth quite ferociously. So figured this one here would be a little safer. But I say, pointing to my Newtone Pro line, which is also a little safer. Anyway, let's take it for a spin, shall we? Now, bear in mind, I had to oil the living daylights out of these. I spent pretty much yesterday, cleaning up, because they were filthy. They were all gummed up. They both flywheels, were really stiff to turn. So I took some WD-40, sprayed the living daylights out of both fans. Getting them through the bearings. Hopefully that cleaned them out, and then added oil to both of them, since WD-40 isn't really an oil, it's more of a degunker, for lack of better words. And just the bearings were all gummed up, so that kind of loosened them up. Then I added some oil as well, because the WD-40 isn't really an oil. So anyway, it's kind of rare because it has two pull chains. It doesn't have the IntelliTouch system. You may be asking, why are there two pull chains when there's clearly no light kit? My answer to that is, you'll see in a couple of seconds. Now, it's very slow to start. This was the worst of the two. So, where the other one is loosened up a little bit more. So, I had it running for the last hour or so to try to incorporate the oil into the bearings. And it seems to be pretty well gunked up still. So, I'm going to put some more WD-40 in, add some more oil, and, once I take it apart again. So, these are actually really interesting taken apart. I'll show you one at the end of the video. That's that I have here. This one's twin. I guess this is the evil twin. The other one's the good twin, and they look kind of funky taken apart. So this is low. Medium. Yeah, you can see on medium, it's actually surprisingly stable. A little bit of wobble here and there. And I will warn you, when I turn it to high, I'm going to get out of the way, because the way I connected it was to I have a light socket with a single light bulb over here, you know, right behind the camera, and the I have one of those connectors that intercepts the electricity from the socket to the light bulb. It goes in between and diverts it off to, you know, I have an extension cord for the fan here, and when I shut the light off, it also shuts the fan off. So when I set it on high, I am actually going to stand over here and just hang on to the you know, the pull chain for dear life, just in case things get ugly. I can immediately just kill the power to it. So and it's wobbling a bit on medium, but not too bad. You know, probably one of the blades needs to be balanced or something like that. And I'm actually going to show you one of these blades up close. Now, this is the exact reason that I recommend to anybody who frequents habitats. Ask the manager, and it's got to be the manager, because some of the employees just don't care. But, you know, some are volunteers that are, you know, a lot of them, in my experience, at least at the habitat I used to work at, they get a lot of people that, you know, were, you know, had community service for committing various crimes. So a lot of them just were there out of not by choice. And even some of the volunteers were pretty good, mostly, you know, that chose to be there. You know, they weren't always too sharp as to try to get the, you know, do what's best for the customer and to move product. They were just trying to, you know, they were just there killing time, a lot of them. So, ask to speak to a manager, then, or, you know, then also ask if there are any fans in the back room, because they always have fans that need to be tested. And this one I actually acquired at the Manchester, New Hampshire habitat. It's not called a Restore. It's called something else, but so it won't appear under Restore. But it's Habitat. You know, building something or other materials warehouse, and I went to speak to the manager, and you know, I said, "Oh, do you have any fans out back? You know, there's a area off kind of to the side of the store that's all blocked off with you know, curtains." And you know, I said, "Hey, can I check back there for see if you have any fans? You know, I don't make it up to this part of the to this area too often. You know." And I'd like to take a look. And so I looked back and I found two of these sitting in a box. Unfortunately, the one of the blade brackets had been swiped, and one of the you know, both upper canopies, right down, you know, as well as the you know, the hang true canopies, as well as the you know, as well as the ball had been removed. So it was just a little nub of a down rod with you know, the holes. So I had to supply the ball from another Casablanca, from a Zephyr. And anyway, take a look at these blades. They're kind of peculiar. They have a crease right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. You know, sort of a line going through the center of the blade, and this end part is upward facing. It's kind of peculiar. I've never seen Casablanca blades that did this before, so can't tell if they've been painted or not. I see brush strokes, but some of the blades are actually hand painted, so I really don't know if they're supposed to be that color or what. But anyway, this is what the bottom part of the motor looks like inside and out. Okay, now I'm going to switch it to fast. Holds on to your britches. Now that's an Emerson K55 motor doing its thing right there. Okay, and now for the spin down. And you know, like most of my fans, I have two of these and they are for sale or trade. However, they're very rare ceiling fans in a very rare configuration. So there's really not much I'm going to be willing to accept as trades. I mean, a Dayton Lasco, I would trade for one of these, you know, in good condition. You know, preferably 56-inch model, white, you know, in good shape. You know, a polished brass, you know, in brown, New-Tone Veranda Deluxe with the switch cap, preferably. You know, brown with the polished brass accents and blade brackets. That I would also accept. Really not much else. You know, maybe a really good condition blender fan. You know, preferably new in the box, or at least in really, you know, decent shape, not all rusted and lousy. But yeah, you know, shoot me an email or you know, connect with me on Facebook or whatever. That's if you're interested in doing some business there. Otherwise, make me an offer of, you know, cold hard cash. I'll entertain any cash offers. You know, so yeah, that's basically it. And you know, wanted to thank you guys all for watching. Stay tuned for more fan videos. If you could click like on this, I would greatly appreciate it, and subscribe to my page, my YouTube page called The Fan Cave, and yeah, check out my Facebook page of the same name. Thanks a lot for watching. Good night and good luck. Now, before I let you go, I'm actually going to show you. I have some. I'm going to show you what the parts here look like. The disassembled one. Now, this is kind of cool. This is what the motor looks like. You know, your basic Emerson K55, assembled in Mexico. Yeah, now the as far as decoding it, you know, it's the first letters are LB, L being December, and B is 1992. I have no idea why they went through those weird alphanumeric codes, but they do, you know, and I've figured out how to decipher them over the years. So. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, this is the back part that goes on, you know, is the cap to it, and this ring goes on the bottom, is the, and everything in the middle are these rings. And then, you know, this part goes on top, so it's kind of interesting. And this is my poor blade with no bracket. This this will be the 4-blade model. Alrighty, folks. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great night.